Terror at 12,000 feet. I am going to die. That's what I thought when I pulled the cords of my parachute, and nothing happened. Definitely not cool. As I pulled downwards to the sky, it felt like I was floating. The earth below, on the other hand, was rushing up to get me at a speed of 120 miles per hour. To make matter worse, it was my first solo jump and probably my last. I tried not to panic. I looked over at Wings, Malinda, the jump master of Freedom Skydiving School. The big braid man was freedom falling about 10 yards away from me. I waved to him like a mannequin, pointing at my broken parachute cord. And guess what he did? He laughed. Seriously, like some sort of cartoon villain on Saturday morning TV. He threw his oversized head back and laughed. Then it hit me. He knew who I am. In case you haven't figured it out, I am not an ordinary thrill seeker who jumps out of plane. I am Joe Hardy, undercover agent of ATAC, American Teenage Agency Crime, and I was on a mission, a pretty dangerous mission. As it turned out, the police had reason to believe that the Freedom Skydiving School was just a front for a fly-by-night smuggling rings. Wings Melinda wasn't a real diving instructor. He is a DVD pilot, so the ITAC team asked my brother Frank and me to go undercover to crack the case. Hey, why not? Who would suspect a couple of teenage boys taking skydiving lessons? Wings Melinda, that's who. I started at the broken pull cord in my hand and the big toothed grin on Wings around furry face. He looked right at me, then pointed up at the plane. My brother Frank stood in the open doorway getting ready to jump. Frank, wait! Don't jump! I shouted through the walkie talkie in my helmet. Too late. Frank leaped out of the plane. They're on to us, Frank! I yelled. Melinda cut the pull cords. I waited for a response. Nothing. Frank, can you read me? Status. I didn't know what to think. Did Frank hear me? Did someone sabotage his parachute too? One thing I didn't know, if I didn't grab onto Wings Melinda in the next few seconds, I was going to be digging really deep for from clams in the sandy beach below, and I hated clams. So I angled my body's head fist towards the dude who wanted to kill me and tried to swim after him. Hey, it works in the movies, but this wasn't a movie. This was real life, and I didn't have a double. I didn't even get 5 feet before a whacked blast of air sent me spinning off course. I quickly straightened my arms in a diving position and managed to catch a wave of wind before I knew it. I was sailing right towards my target. It was almost like surfing, except I was falling mouthful of air instead of water. And oh yeah, my life depends on it. Like a human rocket, I zeroed in on Wings, Melinda, and powered. The guy didn't even know what hit him. I powered into his plunging bare belly with a soft tug, then throwing my arms around his bare chest. I held on tight. Wings was totally stunned. You should have seen his face, with his eyes bulging with his goggles and his furry bird poking out of his helmet. He looked like a very large and very confused teddy bear, except teddy bear don't usually throw punches when kids hug them. Whack! Wings' huge hair fist slammed into my jaw and sent me flying back. Man, that hurts! It was still daylight, but I was seeing stars and clouds and the earth too spinning around me. Time to get a grip. I speared my arm and legs to steady myself and then tilted downward. Wings reached for his parachute cords. Oh, great! If I didn't grab onto him in the next second or two, I was going to plunk to my death. Not an option. So I punched against the wing like a winged bronze crow and trusted myself headfirst at wings with all my strength. I lunged at him with my right arm. Somehow I managed to grab him his wrist before he could pull the cord. All right, but Wings wasn't having it. He tried to burst me off like a bug, smacking my hand and swatting me away. I reeled back from his blow, then my hand started to slip off his wrist 1 inch and another. Get a grip, I told myself again, but this time I mean it literally. Suddenly, the walkie talkie in my helmet crackled with sound. Joe, hold tight! It was Frank. I glanced up. There he was, swooping down like a bomber plane. I grabbed onto Wings Melinda with body, hands, and braced myself. Wham! Bullseye! Frank crashed into us with shocking force. The collision sent the three of us tumbling through the air like a clumsy circus act. Frank clumped on piggyback style while I swam from my arms and wings. He kicked and screamed with every twist and turn. Get off me, you brats! He howled. The chuck won't hold us all. I pulled myself up until we stopped spinning. But Wings won't stop yelling. You idiots! We bellowed when I pulled the cords. You all be flung off. You didn't stand a chance. Oh no, Frank shouted back. He held up a pair of tandem cords and clipped both of us to Wings' backpack. I had to hand it to Frank. The kid is always prepared. Wings let out a signal. We are still too heavy. We shouted. Just pull the cords, I said. Wings stirred and pulled. Wham! With a massive jolt, Frank and I were ripped away from our bear-sized enemy. We plumbed downwards, then shot back up again. Held by the tandem cord, the parachute opened above our head, but it sagged without weight. In seconds, we were drifting towards the drop zone below. Problem was, we were drifting too fast. I told you, Wings grounded at this speed, we all die. Frank and I ignored him as we scrambled up the cords and grabbed onto Wings' legs. Let's go! The pony instruction yelled. Try to kick us off. One of you had to let go if you want to save your brother, he added. I looked Frank in the eye. I knew what he was thinking. No way, we are a team. I had another idea, Wings. I said, shimmering my way up the guy's body. Maybe you can break our fall. Wings crushed. I ignored him and stabbed him his thick neck. Then I reached down to help my brother until we were standing straight on Wing's shoulder, holding the parachute line for support. But wait, the fall could kill me. Wings protested as we floated swifting to the field below. I'll break my legs, for sure. I glanced at my brother and stirred. That's the risk we are willing to take. Frank said with a smile. The earth was only a couple hundred feet below us. Wings was freaking out. No, my legs! I'll be crushed. I have a suggestion. Wings, I said. What's that? Tug and roll. As it turned out, Wings did break his leg in the fall, which made it impossible for him to run away. When the cops arrived, they were watching the whole thing from the ground and had an avalanche waiting to pick up the pieces. I was just happy that none of those pieces had Hardy written on them. Good job, boys, said Lieutenant Joe, smiling and shaking our hand. Sorry we got here a little late, but the time we realized your cover was blown. You were already in the air with Melinda. I can't believe that guys actually tried to kill us. Frank said, shaking his head. Well, he is a pirate, I pointed out. A DVD pirate, Frank added. It's like he made us walk the plane for a bootleg copy of Spider-Man 6. I laughed. Hey, we survived, I said, punching his arm. Frank returned the favor by pushing me off balance. You boys need a lift back to the skydiving school? Lieutenant Jones asked, opening the door of his square car. No thanks, we are undercover, Frank exclaimed. Some kids from our school showed up for diving lessons today. The police officer nodded and said goodbye. 5 minutes later, Frank and I reached the Freedom Bird Skydiving School. We were totally, but not to mention a little but it felt good to complete other successful mission. Wings and him Sur- smuggling rings were safe behind bars, and the Hardy boys were ready to relax and chill out with some friends. Uncomfortably, Brain Cornered was the least friend we wanted to see, and the first person to spoke us approaching the Freedom Bird School. Why did Brain had to show up for lessons today? I moaned to my brother. Take about a bad coincidence, more like Parmil law. Frank chipped in. Hey, Hardy's our least favorite classmate. Yelled from the parking lot. I saw you jumping. What's up with the double tandem diving? You girls get scared or what? I glanced at Frank and rolled my eyes. Let me tell you about Brent's Corner. The guy in is like that public essence TV, nothing but bad news. 24/7, 24/7, 24/7. If the yearbook community was voting for boy most likely to need a good lawyer, he will hand down. Of course, he hated Frank and me, in case you hadn't noticed. Too scared to go solo, huh? Brain, brain tended as I growled under my breath. I ignored him, Joe, my brother whispered. Then Frank looked Brain in the eye and said, our parachute malfunctioned. Cornered, we almost died. Yeah, I almost believe you. Brain shouted back. He leaned against his SUV and shouted to his sister in the backseat, you hear that, Belinda? Your boys are too scared to jump solo. What a pair of wimps! Belinda glanced at her brother. She opened her mouth to say something, but she was interrupted by a high-pitched voice inside the school building. Wimps, wimps, wimps! Brain Cornered busted out laughing. Frank and I turned towards the small brick building and exchanged puzzled glance. We didn't know who it could be. The police had rounded up all of the wings men, so we headed from the door and carefully peeked inside. Wimps! The sound came from a large golden cage in the corner. It was Wim's pet parrot, the official mascot of the Freedom Skydiving School. Figures, I muttered. The pirate had a parrot. Frank entered the small reception room and whacked to the cage. Poor thing, he called to the red and green bird. Your daddy's behind bars now, just like you. The parrot tilted its head as if it understand. Maybe we should set you free. Frank opened the cage down and the bird flew out. I ducked as it flew past my head. Easy there, flyboy, I said. The parrot circled the room a few times and landed on Frank's head. Look like you have New friend, Frank, I said. Frank rolled his eyes upwards. The birds quackled, and then Brain Corner walked in. What do we have here? The jerks nudged. One parrot and a pair of chickens. We pointed and laughed. Okay, stay cool, I told myself. If my brother and I could survive a parachute jump without pull cords, we could pull up with Corner's obnoxious jokes. But come on, did the bird have to join in too? Chickens, chickens, chickens.